That same maxed out space with many layers has been transformed into a minimalist sanctuary. It looks great. So Suzanne, how would you define minimalism?
So minimalism is much more zen. It's really about prioritizing the essential, very simple sculptural forms, elemental shapes, and a very neutral palette, not a lot of color, not a lot of pattern. So if you were a die-hard minimalist, you would probably paint this entire room white and put in your table and chairs and call it a day, boom, bang, you're done. I think when you go into a minimalist space, a true minimalist space, you don't get a lot about the personality of the person that lives there, just that they're super organized and tidy. But for today, we're gonna do minimalism with warmth, so that it's minimal but still inviting, because really I think that's the best way to live with minimalism.
Yes, we want some warmth in our minimalist space. So talk to me about how you made that transformation from the maximalist space to the minimalist space.
Okay, so I kept the wallpaper. Of course I was going to keep that. I wasn't going to take that down. But what we did was just use a spare hand for everything else. And that sort of proves to you that you can have a busy wallpaper and still have a minimalist look. We got rid of the mirror on the wall, and we also got rid of most of the art, all the places for display. I included one small piece of art back here on the paneling, but if you'll notice, it's much smaller than the portrait that was there before, and that's a big way that minimalists think, is an appreciation for the negative space. You don't have to fill everything in, and you can take in that paneling and take in the beauty of that in a different way. Of course, we got rid of all the rugs, so no more layering at all, just the plain floor. Now my floor is blessed with this inlay detail along the edge, so it still has a bit of delineation, which I like to define the space a little bit.
Ooh, that's a gorgeous architectural detail right there. So talk to me about paring back the furniture. What did you do differently in this space?
Okay, well you can see there's far less furniture here. First of all, we eliminated 2 guests. So there's no end chairs, because we figured that a minimalist would probably want fewer guests at their party. And then the other thing is that it is a match set. It's not mixed anymore, it's just matched. So the table is a Carl Hansen table, and the wishbone chairs are also Carl Hansen, so they're part of a match set. And that's a big thing, making sure that you've got this beautiful table with lots of lovely details and just showing it off. So no tablecloth either, of course. You just want the wood to show through. We also included a bench, because I still like the idea of a bench, but this one's very simple. It's also made out of wood in a deep, rich black, almost shaker style. You'll notice that none of the corners are filled up, but we did include this one stool with a beautiful sculptural vase and some dried flowers. And just by doing that one thing, your eye goes there and it turns it into a sculptural moment.
Okay, lovely. So I'm seeing you use some accessories, so you can accessorize in a minimalist space, but like way pared down, right?
Wait, that's basically the lesson. Pare it back. What I did was focused on a neutral palette, black, white, gray, and that's it, and then the natural wood. So everything's very cohesive. By running the runner down the table, that just sort of organizes everything so it doesn't feel cluttered. It feels like everything's got a place, and lots of negative space in between the items. I love this piece. This is from Winners. It's a Lazy Susan, which I think is so great for making passing food back and forth super easy. Again, cleaning things up. And we put all the cutlery in this little jar, so it's more family style, and that cleans up all of the sort of the excess things on each place setting. We've gotten rid of some of the layers, so just 2 plates, that's it.
So my last question is, when is it too little? And then you're just sitting alone in an empty space. Like, how do you know you've gone too far?
Well, that sounds so sad. It's so sad. That's when you know. When you're feeling a bit miserable in your space, I would say, I think if it starts to feel like you're dining in a gallery, that's a problem.
Yeah.
I do think the plants go a long way. Just a few branchy bits to just give it some life, that helps a lot.
Okay, Suzanne, thank you so much. The 2 really good lessons there. You can go over the top very stylishly, or very understated and subdued very stylishly as well. Thank you.